Welcome to the Battle of the Bongos. Let me present to you the fighters of this evening. One corner, we have the LP Giovanni Galaxy Bongo. The other corner, we have the Meinl Woodcraft Traditional Bongo. Last but not least, we have the Moperc Custom Cubano Bongo. Now, to the one in attendance in the thousands watching from home, are you ready to bongo?
Yeah. It's not the Battle of the Bongo, man. You already know I'm just having fun. But I've been trying to do this video for a long time now. I think it's almost a year since I've been trying to do this video, and I finally got the time to do it properly. Ever since I got, my Moperc Bongo and Ash, I just like, man, I want to actually sit down and play all my 3 Ash Bongos at the same time and different tuning ranges just to hear them out. And I'd rather you guys also join me at it so you guys can hear what's going on. And like I did for the Battle of the Quintos, let's do a blind tasting. Let's see what's going on. Let's see if we could listen with our ears and hear maybe what may be going on and transpiring with these bongos. But to introduce a little bit more what I have for today, let's get right to it. So the first bongo I want to talk about, just the specs before we get into the blind tasting, so we know what we are evaluating here. And these bongos are actually, they have some age on them. Had them for 12 years. I've been married for 12 years. Got them the year I was married. So yeah, man, really sturdy, well built at the time. Well built, I will say. These are the LP Giovanni Galaxy Bongo, and I got them in the chrome hardware finish, not the gold. Got them in the chrome, so I didn't really see that as much. I always saw the gold finish, and I've never been a fan of LP's gold plated stuff. And so yeah, I mean, this bongo is a 7 1/4 to a 8 1/2, I believe. So 7 1/4 macho, 8 1/2 hembra, and so it's a little bit bigger than the Moperc and the Meinl, because those are, I believe, are 7-inch macho heads. But as well, this has a smaller hembra. One thing I'll say, these are made in Ash, and they seem pretty well built. At the time, I did not pay what they're going for right now. I think these are a little bit too pricey for right now, based on the market. But yeah, these were, I believe, probably the heaviest drums or bongos that I've had at the time, because I've played and had some Matador bongos and some Pearl bongos as well, and they were not as heavy as these. But yeah, I actually have some Manito steer skins on both the macho and the hembra, so these are both steer. I got them maybe 4 years ago or 3 years ago when I upgraded all my heads and I switched my bongo heads to the Manito skins, and these heads sound so awesome on this bongo. Really changed the characteristic. But yeah, I would say these are pretty heavy, for how small the hembra is. I expected them to be a little bit lighter, but yeah, these are pretty heavy. The one favorite part I'll say I love about this bongo is this middle piece, this middle block right here. This middle block is I would say probably the sturdiest part of this bongo. But don't like the Comfort Curve rims. Never been a fan of Comfort Curve on bongo. I could tolerate it on congas, but on bongo, never been a fan. I was this close from actually changing it to traditional hardware, but that was, gonna be a little bit too much work. So yeah, went ahead and got, some just skins that would fit for the bongo, and it works. But yeah, really wish I had some traditional rims on this genre. But yeah, LP. Oh yeah. And the next I have here is the Meinl Woodcraft Zebra Traditional Bongo. Oh yeah, y'all already know about these. I actually really like this bongo. I think it was pretty light in comparison to a lot of Ash bongos that I've had. It's a little bit lighter than the Galaxy ones that you know we just talked about. The one flaw that I didn't like is maybe like that grain finish. It was just too smooth, but I get it. You know, it felt good on the legs, so I think that's why they went that way and wanted to kind of like expose the grain on that. I love that this had traditional rims, but yeah, for specs, this is a 7-inch macho with a 9-inch hembra. You know, I'm a big fan of a 9-inch hembra. I think that you know, that low that you can get on this is crazy. And I do have, it's about maybe like a 1.8 1.6 millimeter steer skin on the hembra, and I have maybe a 1 millimeter or maybe a little bit thinner than that horse skin on the macho. Yeah, kind of crazy, very thin, but it slaps. And I've actually had to replace the macho head probably, I think, like 3 times already, you know, because just playing it a lot, and they just, you know, rip on me because I either don't untune them or because of weather, you know. So but the sound, especially coming from the skins that they used to, you know, they came with, this just changes the characteristic. But I would say the one thing I never really liked about this is just this middle block, man. I mean, I get it. So there's like pros and cons about this because there's no holes going into the actual drum, but just this part right here, you know, just that middle part, I wish they would have made that like into wood. But again, I understand the concept. I think it's pretty unique, pretty creative. Just not a fan, but I get it. I completely get it, and I understand. And it's kind of cool that they made it into the Meinl logo. So yeah, it's pretty dope. But these are actually, out of the 3, I think these are the lightest ones that we have here. So that is definitely a pro. And last but certainly not least, my Moperc Bongo, man. And you already know, I am a huge fan of these Bongos. Just the build quality is crazy. I'm not even gonna get to sound yet because I want you guys to hear it, but the build quality is just unbelievable. And the staves are a little bit thicker than these other Bongos that we have here. The only word I can like use is that everything feels real. I don't know what it is, but because of, you know, this hardware on these other Bongos, like you could feel how real this hardware is. Like you feel like it's tanked, you feel like it's not gonna break on you, you feel like it's, you know, it's something that you can rely on. I will say that this is not the heaviest out of the 3, but it's up there. I feel like it's up there. This has a 7-inch macho with a 9-inch hembra. Out of the 3, these do not have manito skins on them. Yeah, these are Argentinian bull. They feel great. They feel awesome. They sound great. And I think the thickness, perfect for this size bongo. Of course, these are all North American Ash. These are all supposedly North American Ash, and they all have different characteristics, different sounding. And I want us to see the difference. I will say that this middle block right here, I think it's more because of the 9-inch hembra why they had to make it this way, but you know, it's kind of tight. If you look at that, it's just really tight in there, man. So just creativity, the build quality of this is just nuts, man. Just nuts on how meticulous they are when it comes to building these. But yeah, loved it, loved the look, loved the color. But again, these 3 are all North American Ash. So we're gonna listen to it the way, again, we're gonna make it happen. We're gonna make the Moperc A, and then Meinl B, and then the LP Giovanni C. And so you guys pick and choose to hear which one do you think it is. And yeah, let's get into it. It's about to be kind of crazy.
Round 1. Fight! Round 1. Reveal. Round 2. Fight! to reveal. Round 3. Fight! Round 3. Reveal!
Whew. Man, tired after that blind tasting. But yeah, kind of crazy. First off, all these bongos are awesome, man. I'm grateful to own them, and grateful as well to have owned them at the time that I did, first get them. Like when I first got this, LP Giovanni Galaxy series, I was thinking that's the best sounding bongo ever. When I got the Meinl one, I was like, wow, this is crazy. But of course, when I went to Moperc, completely different sound. Completely different sound. And I hope that you guys were able to hear just the difference in overtone, and as well as the sharpness of every note. So the one thing I'll tell you is the most uncomfortable for me, because of that comfort curve, because I'm used to it. Again, that's my personal preference, y'all, because I know there's a lot of people that prefer comfort curve on the bongo. But for me, I was not comfortable with the LP Giovanni Galaxy. The most two comfortables that I was with the Meinl and the Moperc. But I will say that the Meinl, that part in the middle, it's a little bit too wide. So I do like how Moperc kind of compresses it in a sense, where it's kind of like just right there. Like I've mentioned, look at that distance between, the two parts. And if I were to show you the Meinl one, it's a little bit bigger. Just a little bit, slightly, but that's a big difference, y'all. That's a big difference when playing, especially when you're playing and it's barely anything right there. So you could see it. I felt that, especially when you're playing on a 9-inch hembra. That 9-inch hembra, kind of stretches out your legs a little bit more. But man, I will say that I was highly surprised, especially when we started to crank it up, that the macho on the Giovanni Galaxy, wow, like that thing was going, man. That thing was clacka. Like it shocked me. I'm like, man, this thing is nice, but of course it's a combination of the size, which is, I think it's 7 1/4 macho, with the type of heads, man. Those heads sound awesome. Again, those are manito, and again, they're kind of outstretched. I played it a lot, so you could see that it's kind of up there. Let me actually show you guys. You could see how big of a difference it is when it comes to that. But yeah, I mean, the macho really shocked me, especially on the higher end. But on the low hembra, especially when we started cranking up, you could really hear the overtone, and it was getting to me, man. I'm like, man, is that really like ringing? It's like, it's crazy. But again, I was really uncomfortable playing with these. I didn't think that comfort curve was gonna bother me that much. It's been a while since I've truly played on these, and so don't miss that comfort curve, y'all. Just letting y'all know, don't miss it at all. But I will say that the Meinl, again, I've always been a fan of the 9-inch hembra, and I think it sounded great. You could still hear a lot of overtone though, even with a very thick skin, as the manito steer that I have on here. But again, that hoarse, that thing was slapping. It felt good on the macho. It sounded so good. I think the highs were so crisp. I love the overtone that I was getting from this macho. But I didn't notice how much overtone I was getting out of the hembra. I was like, if you notice, I was just kind of hitting it. So I was like, is this really coming out of this? I will say I was comfortable with this. Not as comfortable as with the Moperc, but I felt the lightness of it. It was really light in comparison to the Moperc. I think that has to do a lot more with the hardware. But again, as I've mentioned earlier, I am worried about the build quality. I see a little bit of cracking here on the stave. So I don't know in regards to that. Now with the Moperc, y'all, I mean, of course I'm slightly biased because I love Moperc, and of course I'm endorsed by them, but just to be honest with you, the weight, you could feel the difference between this and the Meinl. There is a significant difference in the sense of the weight that you get on your legs, but it's also like the sturdiness as well. Like, again, like I mentioned, these are tanks, and they feel like tanks. They feel like something that are not gonna break. They feel like something that are just gonna like fight back to you. Now, I will say something that surprised me, even with the Moperc, in comparison to these two, is that tuning with these two, like even when I was going higher, it was like struggling. Like it was at a point where I would say it was at its limits. Like I had to really like a little bit to get it at that high tone right here, you know. And so I was struggling with both of them. I was like, hold up, what's going on here? But with the Moperc, especially as high as I went, I was like, yo, I could keep on going. And I don't think that the hardware will hold me back. I think it would be more of the skin holding me back. But like the hardware felt like, man, we could keep on going. And so that really shocked me. I was like concerned because I was like, oh, I don't want to break, you know, the heads for this video and then not have something to show you guys. But then when I went to the Moperc, I was like, oh, you know, like fine, completely fine. And so that really shocked me on both, even on the Hembra. Now, I will say there is overtone, so don't think that there's no overtone. But in comparison to the other two, especially it being a 9-inch Hembra, I expected a lot more higher overtone, like, you know, because you're pushing something like this to get on a higher octave, you know. But this surprised me again. It was really dry, really sharp. It said what I wanted to say. It has really sharp highs, man, and that slap, man, the slap was crazy. And again, I am biased, but at the same time, I understand, you know, why this sounds a lot different than these. And again, it's not saying that these do not sound good at all. I think that if you were to hand me this, I'm gonna try my best to make it sound the way I think it could sound at its best. But if you were looking for something that didn't have as much overtone, like, yeah, you know, this would be your option. And that's that. These two are relatively thick skins, and they all have premium heads. They're not, you know, like the heads that come with it. These are all good quality heads that I'm playing on, and they're thick. They're thick on the Hembra, and so I expect that thickness to kind of help cut the overtone, but you can still hear it. I would say that I was very uncomfortable on the LP Galaxy. I loved the little bit, you know, it's a little bit light on the Meinl. I loved the sound on the Moperc. Loved the sound. I was comfortable. I felt good. I love the 9-inch Hembra, and as well, like I didn't have to worry about tuning it, you know. So if I really wanted to go even higher, I think I could. But you know, for the sake of this video, just was trying to be close to its range and you know, do it justice, man. So I hope you guys found value in this. I had fun making it, man. I'm tired, but I had some fun. I had some fun making this video. I love doing these videos, man, where you guys can see just a little bit more, get a little educated on some stuff, man. And I just think it's fun that we all got to learn and hear this together. Because like you guys, this was the first time I was hearing this, and this was my face when I was playing. I was like, whoa, 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 like this is crazy. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this. Y'all already know what to do. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a great day.